it's Marie from Pear Tree Paper Crafts. I'm back with my last DT share for Spiegel Mum Scraps. This is, well, for this one I've used all the sequins. You can see all the different packets up there because I've used a brand new piece of paper from Vicky Boutin's new mixed media pad, and it's that rainbow paper that you saw me use just at the very beginning. I had a good old flick through the pad and decided that that one worked the best because I really wanted to use this cut file. This one is from Cut to You, and it's one of those little conversation ones. And I remembered I had these adorable pictures of my son when he was little, and he's sat in his high chair in our kitchen, and he's not actually talking on a phone. It was like a VTech remote TV remote thing, but he thought it was a phone. I love children's imaginations, and he decided to start sort of having a conversation on it, and I managed to capture all these different images of him and all these different expressions, so I wanted to capture them in the different bubbles. So I'm actually backing the cut file with some of the photographs, and then I'm going to back some more of them and make them into shaker pockets. So I've got 3 photographs. You've seen me also take out some of those lines in some of the speech bubbles. I just didn't need them all. They weren't necessary and they were going to get in the way of the photograph because I wanted to spread the photographs out into that kind of visual triangle. I'm not going to add a great deal else to this layout. It's going to be the cut file, the backing paper, because the backing paper is really pretty, and then sequins in the rest of, in some of the other little speech bubbles. So that's what it's going to look like on the page. And then I start grabbing, I just disappear a second to grab some plastic. I was going to use thick acetate, and then I decided just to use some packaging. It's really easy to do. So I keep all the packaging that I get off all of my ephemera. So I'm just popping some wet glue now on the back of the cut file there and pressing the plastic down. Now I do leave it for a little while, so I go on and do another one. Oh no, I don't. I normally leave it for a little while, go and do another one, and then come back to finish that one, because the last thing you want is to be kind of trying to cut and it peeling off and you needing to re-glue it and just ending up making a huge mess. So yeah, the first step is putting on that plastic. The second step is adding some little foam strips. Now I use large adhesive foam sheets that I just cut little strips off, because I think if you try and buy stuff, it's always too thick or it's too sticky, and I find that stuff cuts really well. And you can kind of manipulate it to go around the corners. So I'm just I keep flicking back to that base sheet and trying to look, well, where are the colours going to land? Because I'm trying to fill the shaker pockets with the same sorts of colours as to match in with that gorgeous backing paper that's all rainbowy. So I'm doing all little ones. I struggle a little bit getting my scissors in there, trying to be really careful with this cut file. It does have some narrow kind of joins, and I just really don't want to end up with areas where I accidentally cut the cut file. I don't know if you've ever done that before. Really annoying. Yeah, it ends up needing some DIY kind of fix it work, trying to put it back together. So I'm just deciding where I'm going to put the rest of my colours. I did want to do all of the, I think there are 7 or there are 6 colours. I wanted to do them all, but in the end I couldn't do them all. I couldn't quite fit them all on. So I decided to do 6, or 1 less of the colours, and then add the final one, which you'll see me do later. So I'm just doing the last little bits now, and then you'll see how I manage to stick it all down. It's not the most ideal way, but I wanted the colour from the back sheet to shine through behind the cut file, even where the shaker pockets are. So what I end up doing is using a great big chopping board from my kitchen to weight it down, which you'll see me do in just a second as I finish off this now. And then what I've got to do is then find the right sequins in the right colours. So I get my piece of paper and I kind of line it up off to the left, so that I can make sure I put the right colour in the right place. So the last little bit of that white foam to prop it up, just to make sure there's enough room for the sequins really. So there we go, I line it up at the left and then I just tip the different coloured sequins into the different pockets. The red and the purple are easy. This Foxy Voxy mix, I did just pick out the greens. This mix here, I just wanted the yellows, so that took a little while to do. So I think I used Red Rapture, Geode, Purple Geode. I used Foxy Voxy, Green Galore. I used Ride the Tide at the very end. And then that yellow one, I think that's Starry Sky, but I use a little bit of the Foxy Voxy in there as well, pick out a few of the yellow ones. So lots of sequin mixes, lots of colours. Here you go, the last little green bits. And then the last thing I do, what I do next is I put some double-sided foam on the back of the photographs, and I then go round the edges of the shaker pockets with quite a bit of glue, as you'll see, and then I place the sheet, well I actually knock it before I place the sheet on, which is really annoying. Don't do what I did. I moved it, look, and all the sequins flicked out and I had to pick them all back up again and put them all back in. So I lined it up on my mat, and I'm using the measurements on my mat to try and get it in the middle. And then I place the sheet on the back and hope it's straight. And then I place a weight on the back there. And then when it's all dry, you'll see in a moment, I add a few final sequins to that blue heart down there. Thank you ever so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you again soon. Bye for now.